Retrography is a fascinating way to look at our past. It takes old black and white photographs and adds color to them. This process is not just about making pictures look pretty, it is about bringing history closer to us in the present day. When we see historical images in color, they suddenly feel more real, more immediate. The people and places from long ago seem to step out of the monochrome shadows. They become more relatable. Their experience is more tangible to our modern eyes. This technique aims to breathe new life into moments that shaped our world. The core idea behind retrography is to make history more accessible. For many people, especially younger generations, black and white images can feel distant. They might seem like artifacts from a completely different, almost alien world. Adding carefully researched color helps to break down this barrier. It transforms these historical records into something vibrant and engaging. Suddenly, the past doesn't feel so far away. It feels like something we can almost touch and understand more intuitively. This connection is vital for appreciating the lessons and stories that history holds for us all. My own journey into retrography, leading to the book Photographic, stemmed from a deep passion for history. I am a journalist by trade, not a professional colorist. However, I always felt that the starkness of black and white, while powerful in its own right, sometimes obscured the richness of past events. I wondered if adding color, done thoughtfully and accurately, could help others see the depth and humanity in these historical moments. The goal was to create a new experience of history, one that resonates more emotionally with a contemporary audience. This process is more than just a technical exercise, it is an act of interpretation and storytelling. Each color choice, each shade is based on extensive research to ensure authenticity. We are not trying to rewrite history or impose a modern aesthetic onto the past. Instead, we are trying to reveal the colors that were always there, hidden from view by the limitations of early photographic technology. Retrography, therefore, offers a fresh perspective, a new hue through which we can explore and connect with the narratives of yesteryear. Color has a profound psychological impact on how we perceive the world. Our brains are wired to respond to color. It conveys emotion, information, and a sense of reality. Black and white photography, for all its artistic merit and historical importance, inherently lacks this dimension. It can sometimes create a sense of detachment, making past events feel abstract or less vivid. By reintroducing color, retrography aims to bridge this perceptual gap between the past and the present. It helps to translate historical scenes into a visual language that is more familiar and engaging to us today. Think about your own memories. They are almost certainly in color. This is how we naturally experience and recall our lives. When historical photographs are presented in color, they tap into this innate way of seeing. The figures in the photograph cease to be mere historical subjects. They become individuals with lives as colorful and complex as our own. Their clothing, their surroundings, the very atmosphere of the moment all gain an extra layer of realism. This makes it easier for us to empathize with them and to imagine ourselves in their place, experiencing what they experienced. The transformation from black and white to color can be truly magical. A dusty street scene from a bygone era, once rendered in shades of gray, can suddenly reveal the warm tones of brick buildings, the varied colors of period attire, or the subtle hues of the sky. This added detail doesn't just make the image more visually appealing, it provides more context and information. It can highlight elements that might have been overlooked in the original monochrome version, offering new insights into the daily lives and environments of the past. This renewed vibrancy is particularly important for educational purposes. History can sometimes feel like a dry subject, a collection of dates and facts. Retrography offers a tool to make it more dynamic and captivating. When students see historical figures looking like people they could meet today, just in different clothes and settings, history becomes less about memorization and more about understanding human experience. Color helps to humanize the past, making it a story that everyone can connect with on a more personal and emotional level, fostering a deeper appreciation for where we came from. The process of colorizing historical black and white photographs is intricate and requires a blend of artistic skill and technical proficiency. Today, the primary tool for this delicate work is digital software, most notably Adobe Photoshop. This powerful program offers a vast array of tools that allow colorists to meticulously layer colors, adjust tones, and achieve a high degree of realism. It's not a simple click of a button process, as some might imagine. Each photograph presents its own unique set of challenges and demands careful, painstaking attention to detail from the artist. The journey of colorization begins with a high-quality scan of the original black and white photograph. The better the source image, the more detail the colorist has to work with. Once the image is in Photoshop, the work involves creating multiple layers. Each layer might be dedicated to a specific element in the photo's skin tones, clothing, buildings, foliage, or the sky. The colorist then carefully applies colors to these layers using digital brushes and selection tools. This is a gradual process, building up the colors slowly and subtly to avoid an artificial or painted look. One of the key aspects of digital colorization is the ability to work non-destructively. This means that the original black and white image remains untouched. The colors are added on separate layers, which can be adjusted, modified, or even removed without altering the underlying historical photograph. This is crucial for preserving the integrity of the original artifact. The colorist must also pay close attention to light and shadow, ensuring that the added colors interact realistically with the existing tones in the monochrome image. This requires a good understanding of how light behaves and how it affects the appearance of different materials and surfaces. While software like Photoshop provides the tools, the skill of the colorist is paramount. It requires patience, an eye for detail, and a deep understanding of color theory. The process can take many hours, sometimes even days, for a single complex photograph. The aim is always to create a final image that looks as if it could have been originally shot in color, providing a seamless and believable window into the past. It's a delicate balance between technical execution and artistic interpretation, all guided by historical accuracy. Adding color to a black and white photograph is not merely an artistic endeavor, it is an act of historical reconstruction. Therefore, meticulous research is the absolute cornerstone of credible retrography. Without it, colorization risks becoming pure fiction, imposing anachronistic or inaccurate hues onto the past. The goal is to reveal the authentic colors of the era, as they would have appeared at the time the photograph was taken. This requires a deep dive into the historical context of each image, a process that can be as time-consuming as the colorization itself. The research process involves investigating a wide range of elements. For instance, if the photograph includes military uniforms, we must determine the exact colors of those uniforms for that specific regiment, country, and time period. If it shows a cityscape, we need to research the building materials commonly used, the colors of vehicles, and even the types of paint available. Fashion trends are also critical. The colors of clothing worn by civilians would vary greatly depending on the decade and social class. Every detail, no matter how small, needs to be considered to achieve historical accuracy. Environmental factors play a significant role as well. The season in which the photograph was taken will dictate the colors of foliage and the quality of light. The time of day affects the warmth or coolness of the light and the length of shadows. Even the geographical location is important, as it influences atmospheric conditions and the natural palette of the surroundings. For example, the light in a Mediterranean coastal town will be very different from that in a northern European city. All these nuances must be carefully researched and incorporated into the colorization. Sometimes information can be gleaned from written descriptions of the period, from paintings, or from surviving color artifacts from that era. Old postcards, though often hand-tinted with varying degrees of accuracy, can sometimes offer clues. The internet has become an invaluable resource, providing access to historical archives, museum collections, and expert forums. The commitment to thorough research is what separates responsible retrography from casual colorization. It is about respecting the past and striving to present it as truthfully as possible, even when adding a new dimension like color. Section 5. Authenticity, first consulting historians and living memories. While diligent research into archives and period materials is fundamental, another vital step in ensuring the authenticity of colorized photographs is consultation. Engaging with experts such as historians, curators, and specialists in particular fields like military history or fashion provides an invaluable layer of verification. These professionals possess deep knowledge that can help confirm or correct color choices, identify subtle details, and offer insights that might not be readily available in published sources. Their expertise helps to guide the colorist towards a more accurate and nuanced representation of the past. Historians can provide context that goes beyond just colors. They can shed light on the social, cultural, and political circumstances surrounding the photograph, which can influence interpretations of mood and atmosphere. For example, understanding the significance of a particular event can inform the overall tonal approach to the colorization. Their feedback during the process is crucial. They might point out that a certain shade of blue was not available until a later decade, or that a particular type of vehicle would have been a different color based on its manufacturer or owner. This collaborative approach strengthens the credibility of the final work. In some fortunate cases, it is possible to consult with eyewitnesses or individuals who have direct personal or familial connections to the events or people depicted in the photographs. Their living memories, though subjective, can offer unique and precious details. They might recall the color of a specific dress, the shade of a building, or the general ambience of a place. While memory can be fallible, these personal accounts, when cross-referenced with other research, can add a profound sense of authenticity and emotional resonance to the colorized image. It connects the past to the present in a very human way. This process of consultation is an ongoing dialogue. It's not just a one-time check at the end. Often, colorists will share work-in-progress versions with experts to get feedback at various stages. This iterative approach allows for adjustments and refinements, ensuring that the final colorized photograph is as historically accurate and respectful as possible. The aim is not to create a definitive, unchallengeable version of the past in color, but rather a carefully considered and well-informed interpretation that invites viewers to engage more deeply with history. The Royal Photographic Society of Great Britain even provided a foreword for my book, Retrographic, underscoring the importance of such diligent approaches. Section 6, The Rights of History, Navigating Legal Permissions. Bringing historical photographs to life with color involves more than just research and artistic skill. It also requires navigating a complex landscape of legal permissions and copyright. Historical photographs, even very old ones, are often still protected by copyright, or the rights may be held by archives, museums, or photographic agencies. Before any alteration, including colorization, can be undertaken, and certainly before it can be published or publicly displayed, it is absolutely essential to secure the necessary legal rights to do so. This is a critical step that respects the work of the original photographers and their estates. The process of obtaining these permissions can be lengthy and challenging. For the Retrographic project, approximately half of the entire 12-month timeline was dedicated to this aspect. It involved identifying the rights holders for each photograph, which can sometimes be a detective work in itself. Once identified, we had to negotiate licenses that specifically allowed for the alteration or colorization and subsequent use of the images. This often meant working with major agencies like Getty Images and the Associated Press, as well as smaller archives and individual estates. Copyright law is intricate, and the duration of copyright can vary depending on the country of origin, the date of creation, and whether the photographer is known. Some photographs may be in the public domain, meaning their copyright has expired, but even then, the physical copy or scan might be owned by an institution that has its own terms of use. It's crucial to understand these distinctions and to act with due diligence. Failure to obtain proper permissions can lead to legal issues, financial penalties, and damage to one's reputation. Therefore, a significant part of any retrography project involves careful administration and legal counsel. Contracts need to be reviewed, license fees may need to be paid, and proper attribution to the original photographer and rights holder must always be ensured. This meticulous attention to legal and ethical obligations is paramount. It ensures that the work of bringing history to life through color is done responsibly and with respect for the creators and custodians of these invaluable historical records. It is a fundamental part of honoring the past while reinterpreting it for new audiences. Section 7, Icons in Color, Revitalizing Famous Photographic Moments. Retrography has the power to cast some of history's most iconic photographs in a new light, allowing us to connect with them on a different level. Consider Joe Rosenthal's Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph, Raising the Flag on Iwo Jima. In its original black and white, it is a stark and powerful symbol of sacrifice and determination. When carefully colorized, with research into the correct hues of the Marines' uniforms, the volcanic ash of Iwo Jima and the Pacific sky, the image retains its power but gains an added layer of immediacy. The men become even more tangible, their struggle more visceral. Another unforgettable image is Alfred Eisenstadt's VJ Day in Times Square, capturing the exuberant kiss between a sailor and a nurse at the end of World War II. In black and white, it's a moment of pure, spontaneous joy. When color is added, the dark blue of the sailor's uniform, the white of the nurse's dress, the vibrant backdrop of Times Square, even the red lipstick often speculated upon, the scene explodes with life. It feels less like a historical artifact and more like a moment you could have witnessed yourself, filled with the palpable relief and celebration of that historic day. The work of Malcolm Browne, particularly his shocking 1963 photograph of the self-immolation of Thich Quang Duc in Saigon, presents a more somber example. Colorizing such a difficult image requires immense sensitivity and ethical consideration. The original black and white is profoundly impactful, adding color. The saffron of the monks' robes, the searing orange of the flames, the surrounding environment can make the scene even more harrowing and unforgettable, forcing a modern audience to confront the reality of the event with renewed intensity. It underscores the gravity of the moment in a way that feels incredibly present. These examples, and many others included in projects like Retrographic, demonstrate how colorization is not about replacing the original black and white masterpieces. Instead, it offers an alternative way of experiencing them. It allows us to explore the details, the atmosphere, and the human element within these famous frames with fresh eyes. By carefully researching and applying color, we can enhance our understanding and emotional connection to these pivotal moments, ensuring they continue to resonate powerfully with new generations who might first encounter them in this revitalized form. Section 8. An emotional bridge. How color deepens our connection to the past. The addition of color to historical black and white photographs does something remarkable. It builds an emotional bridge across time. While monochrome images possess their own unique aesthetic and historical gravitas, they can sometimes create a psychological distance. The world they depict can feel somewhat abstract, separated from our own richly colored reality. Retrography helps to dissolve this separation. By presenting the past in a visual language that is inherently familiar to us, color makes historical figures and events feel more immediate and relatable, stirring a deeper emotional response. When we see a portrait from the 19th century in color, the subject's skin tones, the hue of their eyes, the fabric of their clothes suddenly come alive. They cease to be just a face from a bygone era and become a person, much like ourselves, with their own hopes, fears, and experiences. This human connection is incredibly powerful. It allows us to empathize more readily with people from the past, to imagine their lives more vividly, and to feel a stronger sense of shared humanity. This emotional engagement is key to making history feel relevant and important. This enhanced emotional connection is not just about individual portraits, it extends to historical scenes and events. A colorized photograph of a bustling city street from the early 20th century, or a poignant scene from a wartime era, can evoke a much stronger sense of atmosphere and presence. The colors of the environment, the clothing, and even the subtle play of light and shadow contribute to a richer, more immersive experience. We are no longer just observing a historical record. We are, in a sense, stepping into the scene, feeling its emotional weight and significance more profoundly. Ultimately, retrography helps to make history less of an academic subject and more of a human story. It taps into our innate emotional intelligence, allowing us to connect with the past on a gut level. As I found while working on Retrographic, the aim is to make these images resonate in a way that touches the heart as well as the mind. By making historical moments more emotionally accessible, we encourage a greater curiosity and a more personal investment in understanding where we came from and how the experiences of those before us have shaped the world we live in today. Section 9. Retrography's promise making history truly seen and felt. Retrography holds a significant promise for the future of how we engage with history. It's more than just a technical novelty. It is a powerful tool for interpretation and connection. By thoughtfully and accurately adding color to the monochrome records of our past, we offer new generations, and indeed all of us, a fresh lens through which to view and understand historical events. This process does not seek to diminish the value of original black and white photographs, which remain vital historical documents and art forms in their own right. Instead, it aims to complement them, providing an additional pathway to engagement. The accessibility that color brings is perhaps its most crucial contribution. In an increasingly visual world where young people are accustomed to high-definition color imagery, retrography can make historical content more appealing and less intimidating. It can spark curiosity and encourage deeper exploration. When a student sees a figure like Abraham Lincoln or a scene from the civil rights movement in color, it can make those subjects feel less like distant textbook entries and more like tangible parts of a continuous human story. This can foster a greater appreciation for history and its relevance to contemporary life. Furthermore, the meticulous research involved in authentic retrography can itself lead to new discoveries and insights about the past. The quest to determine correct colors often uncovers details about materials, manufacturing processes, or social customs that might otherwise be overlooked. This deepens our understanding of the period in question, adding layers of richness to the historical narrative. The collaboration with historians and experts also strengthens the interdisciplinary approach to studying and presenting history, blending visual artistry with academic rigor to create a fuller picture. In conclusion, retrography serves as a vibrant bridge, connecting our colorful present with the often gray-toned representations of our past. Its true value lies in its ability to make history not just seen, but truly felt. By humanizing historical figures and making past events more vivid and emotionally resonant, it helps us to forge a stronger bond with those who came before us. As we continue to explore and refine this technique, retrography promises to unlock even more of the richness and complexity of our shared human heritage, ensuring that the stories of the past continue to inspire and inform us for years to come.